Hey everybody, this is the Grand Makes Games, and I'm the Grand Marshal, and today I'm going to teach you how to make an FPS in 10 minutes or less. Hopefully by the end of this video you should be able to, write your own guns, animate them, have them shoot enemies that run towards you, and hopefully what this video will do is sort of get you interested in everything you can do in Unity, and maybe inspire you to learn a little bit more about game design and programming. So today I'm going to be using Unity 2017.1.3, and I'm going to be coding in C#, so you should probably have a working knowledge of how to program when you start this video, because I'm not really going to be teaching that. That being said, I'll make the scripts available. You can copy and paste them or follow along with me in the video and work that way. So let's get started. So I'm going to open up Unity here, and we've got that going. Let's see here. So I've already imported Gaia, but we do need a character controller. That makes it really easy for us to get going on that. So I just right-click there, bring in a character controller, and we're going to import everything that's in here. Unity's nice enough to have a prefabricated, sort of bundled up into one ready-to-go object character controller for us. So we'll make that a first-person character controller. Alright, we're back. I went ahead and just made a terrain real quick with the plugin Gaia. You can make this on your own just using Unity. I just do this because it's a quick way for me to work and get a background that looks interesting. So we've got our player object that it created for us down here next to these houses, and we're gonna sort of build our space in here. So the first thing we need is something to shoot at. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna create a capsule, which is sort of a vaguely humanoid pill shape. We'll drag this up here, drop it on the ground. We'll give it a rigid body. For physics later, that helps us sort of interact with our environment. And then we are going to give it a script that will handle sort of shooting the enemy and moving the enemy and updating its health. So we'll call that target entity. So we'll go ahead and open this up. Alright, if we think about what an entity like this needs, it's going to need health. It needs to know what its maximum health is, so that we can get the percentage of its current health. And then we need a health bar. So to start out with, that's what we're going to give it. So we are going to need to import using Unity engine.ui. So we'll do that. And then down here, we are going to add a public, helps if I spell it right, public float health. And then we are also going to have a public float max health, which, like I said, will give us our percentage of our current health. And then a public image, because we're going to use that for our health bar. Health bar. There we go. Alright, fantastic. So to start with, we're just going to set our max health equal to our starting health, whatever our health is at the beginning here. So we've got that. And then down here in update, we're going to say that our health bar is equal to our health divided by our max health, right? Because that'll give us sort of our current over our maximum, which would be our percentage value from 0 to 1 that we can use to set the fill for an image. So we'll have an image that we fill from left to right, and that'll give us what we need. So we're having some issue here. Oh, yes, we need to set the fill amount equal to that value. So we'll do that. If, we need to check and see if we die. If health is less than or equal to 0, then we need to destroy our game object. So that'll kill us when we get to 0. So, and then the last thing we need to do is we need a function that deals damage to us. So we're going to have a void hit function that takes a float damage as an argument. And then down here we're going to say health minus equals, which essentially just subtracts damage. So that'll sort of deal damage to us over time. So we'll call that from our guns script later. Okay, let's go back out here to our entity. We'll make him a little bit taller. You know, he's a little bit short right now. We'll make him 1.8. That's a good person height in Unity. So we'll set his health to 100. And then now we need to give it the health bar. So to do that, we're going to give it a world space UI canvas. So we'll just go ahead and grab an image. It'll create the canvas automatically. And we drag that under the capsule. We'll go ahead and rename this guy to enemy. And then for our canvas, we need to make this a world space canvas. So it sort of exists in the world. We'll reset this position. Now we'll make it smaller. And we'll, do that. I'll press F to focus on our target here. Where's our canvas? So, a little bit small, but that's okay. We will stretch out to fill up the top part here. And then we're just going to stretch our image using Alt and Shift on this little drop-down menu to fill up the middle. So we can make that a little bit bigger too. We'll put an outline around this so that we have a nice distinct border when we're against the background, and we'll go ahead and we'll make that white. Alright, so then for our fill, we'll get something like this, and we'll make it red for health. That's what color health is, right? So we've got that, and now we just plug this image in to here, and we also, we need to make this a fill image. So rather than image type simple, image type filled, and we want to fill it horizontally from left to right makes sense to me. We'll leave it like that. So we need to make sure that his rigid body has some constraints. We need to freeze his rotation in the Z and X axis. That way he can rotate but not fall over. Okay, so we'll go to scene mode. Here we'll go to our enemy, and we'll just drag his health down. And we can see his health bar go down as well. So, you know, he has 14 health. That's what his health bar would look like. Awesome, we know that works now. Alright, so now that we've finished our entities for us to shoot at, next we need some guns to actually shoot them with. So I went ahead and found a low poly gun asset pack on the asset store. You can find tons of free assets on there to try out and use. So we're going to take this guy, and we're going to make him a child of the player. And for animation purposes later, I'm going to make something called a gun root, so that we can make that go a little bit smoother. We're also going to need a gun script. So we'll go ahead and write our gun script right here. Or just gun. We can't have spaces. Alright, so here we go. So now if we think about what a gun needs, it needs a couple things. It's going to need a range, how far it can shoot. It's going to need clip size. Well, we can just say clip because it's sort of our current clip. So that's how many bullets we have before we have to reload. And these should be ints. You can't have really half a bullet, or at least you can't shoot half a bullet. So capacity as well. So that's how many clips, or how many bullets until we have to reload, our total bullets, how far we can shoot, damage. And in addition to damage, we need to be able to know how fast we're shooting, right? Because we can use this gun script for lots of different things. So maybe you have a hand cannon that does a lot of damage but shoots pretty slowly, or maybe it's a heavy-duty assault rifle, you know, shooting really quickly. So we need to know how fast we can shoot as well. So that's going to be our speed. And to really make that work, we're also going to need a cooldown timer to sort of space out how quickly we can do that. There we go. Okay, so now we start thinking about what we need to do. Every update, we need to be checking for input. So over here, update, our input is going to be if.get mouse button down. 0 is the left mouse button. So when we're trying to shoot, first thing we're going to need to do is do a raycast. So essentially we're shooting out in a straight line from some point and trying to shoot something. So physics.raycast out and we are going to give it a certain position. So we're going to say that we have a shoot spot, because we don't want to actually have to shoot from the tip of the gun. Shoot spot. So we'll say shoot spot dot transform dot position. We will need to shoot in a direction. Dot transform dot forward. All right, and we'll send out the information from the hit, and we'll go for as far as our range can go. So we won't check anything past our range to see if we hit it. And inside this, if we hit something, we want to get the hit.collider.gameObject.send a message to it, which this is calling a script. So we'll say hit, and we'll send our damage script. So now, if we hit something, we will deal damage to it. Awesome. Fantastic. But what happens right now is the second we pull this mouse button down, it's going to start shooting like crazy. It's going to shoot whether or not we have ammo. So we really don't want to do that. And this is not structured like that. This should be like this. So if hit.collider is not equal to null. So if we hit something, let's check and see if we can kill it. Fantastic. So we'll see if we can hit something, but we need to slow this down. So up here, before we do anything, we will say if our clip is greater than 0, and we'll say and cooldown timer minus speed is less than 0. Right? So what that'll do is if our cooldown timer, which we will set after we shoot successfully. So let's come over here and we'll say timer equals 3, maybe, and we'll decrement our clip. Cooldown timer. Now we're slowing down our speed to shoot, and so to do that, we're using our cooldown timer. And every update, we need to decrement our timer by how much time has passed. So time.delta time. There we go. So there we go. Let's see if this works. So we'll need to give it a shoot spot, which we will just make in the very middle. Now we need to set these values. We'll set a range of 100, clip of 30, capacity of 120, damage 10, speed 2, I guess, and then we'll throw a shoot spot in here. We can adjust these values to get them sort of however we want them. Alright, so now I'm clicking, and we can see his health going down. Right, so that means we're hitting him. We did it. We killed our first enemy. Okay, so that's probably about as much as we can get done in 10 minutes, but really just in that amount of time, you can do a lot. So if you got through all of that, congratulations. You got somebody who can you got a game where you can walk around, you can shoot enemies. They have health. You can make different guns that have different amounts of damage, and it wouldn't take a lot more work just to make it look even cooler. You could add more sound effects. You could add animations for the guns. You could make the enemies walk towards you or attack you. You could add game over states and everything like that. In fact, I might do a video on that next. It'd be cool to see sort of how far we could take it. So if you like tutorials, you want to learn more about game design, or just see what projects I'm working on, you can like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, all of that. You can follow me on Grain Makes Games on Twitter, and yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I intend to make more stuff like this, and thanks for watching.